Today's lecture, let us discuss about introduction of microbiology and classifications of microbiology or classification of microorganisms. Microbiology is a branch of science which deals with the study of microorganisms or infectious particles. Let us discuss one important topic in microbiology, that is infectious particles. These infectious particles are nothing but these are microbes. Now, beginning of our lecture, let us discuss one of the most important smallest microbe, that is, as you all know, the smallest microbe is prions. Our first topic is prions. Prions are the smallest infectious microbial agent which do not have either DNA or RNA. It do not contain any genetic material. No genetic material. No genetic material in it. But as we discussed that there is no genetic material, and in absence of genetic material, how these prions will be entered into our body and will get converted into more number of these prions, and how that will undergo replication. And whenever these prions enters into our body, these prions will reach the central nervous system and they will multiply in the central nervous system, and the diseases which are produced by these prions are called transmissible spongiform encephalopathy. Transmissible spongiform encephalopathy. Diseases which are produced by prions are called transmissible spongiform encephalopathy. Now, there is no genetic material present in these prions, but how these prions will get increased in our number means, let us consider one neuron. Now, whenever in our cells prion related proteins are present, prion related proteins are present in our cell at the cellular level. Prion related proteins are present in our cell, and let us consider this is one mRNA molecule, our normal mRNA molecule, and will undergo translation process and it results in formation of proteins. Let us consider this is one protein which is alpha plated protein. This is alpha plated protein. And what are prions? Prions are the normal infectious agents which are abnormally folded, that is beta plated. Let us consider this is one structure. This is beta plated. Let us consider this is alpha plated structure. This is alpha protein, and this alpha protein will get misfolded and convert, it will changes its structure. This is beta plated. This is alpha plated and this is beta plated. Now, these beta plated particles are called prions. Beta plated particles are called prions, and here the proteins will get accumulated here. These are beta plated, and Inside this cell there is an enzyme called protease. This is an enzyme called protease. Now this protease can have function on alpha plated particles, but they do not have function, they do not show its effect on beta plated particles. This protease can denature the alpha plated particles, but this protease enzyme cannot degenerate the beta plated particles. So these beta plated particles will get accumulated and it results in transmissible spongiform encephalopathy. One example for this prions is mad cow disease. Mad cow disease. Here, whenever the mad cow disease which is entered into cell, let us consider this is mad cow disease gene and it will undergo replication process. It undergoes replication process. It forms one normal gene and one defected gene. Now, whenever these two undergoes, it forms 4 genes. In this way, the number of these mad cow disease genes will get increased and it results in mad cow disease. This is about prions, and there is one more example, that is examples of beta plated particles are amyloids. What are amyloids? Amyloids are nothing but these are beta plated particles are called amyloids. This is first classification, that is smallest infectious agent, that is prions. And now let us discuss next group of smallest agents, that is it includes 3 structures. It includes bacteriophages, plasmids and transposons. Bacteriophages, plasmids and transposons. These are second category. The first category is prions, second category is bacteria, bacteriophages, plasmids and transposons. Now let us discuss about first plasmids. Plasmids are extra chromosomal double stranded DNA. Let us consider this is one cell. And this is a genetic material. And this is a genetic material, and plasmids are the extra chromosomal circular DNA. This is a genetic material, that is plasmid, extra chromosomal double stranded circular DNA, and it is normal in function whenever if it contains any toxic substance in it, like if it contains any toxic substance, and these plasmids have capacity to replicate by its own process, and it will increase its number. It will increase its number. Now let us consider one condition in which this is another cell and this is another cell in which it contains its own genetic material, and here it contains its own genetic material. Now, whenever these plasmids are transferred from one cell to another cell, these are transferred from one cell to another cell, and here if it contains any toxic substance, then here the toxic substance will also get expressed here. This is condition in which if infected plasmids are transferred from one cell to the another cell, then the plasmids can express its toxic effect on other type of cell. And let us consider one more important function of plasmids is it will make plasmids make the cell against to this antibiotic. It makes sensitive against to this antibiotics. As we know that these plasmids contains one special type of protein this special protein which is produced will get accumulated on surface of cell. The name of this special protein is adherent molecule, and this adherent molecule will release one special kind of protein. It releases special kind of protein. Now the function of this special kind of protein is, let us consider an antibiotic. As you know that this structure is penicillin structure, and this is penicillinic acid ring, and this is beta lactam ring. This is beta lactam ring, and this is penicilloic ring. Now this enzyme which is produced will inhibit this beta lactam ring. They will get binded to this beta lactam ring and will destroy this beta lactam ring. As a result, it becomes sensitive to this. This cell will become sensitive to this penicillins or any types of antibiotics. This is one of the main important function of plasmids. And if this is about plasmids, and if we discuss about bacteriophages, what are bacteriophages? Bacteriophages are some infectious particles. Whenever these are inserted into the any type of bacteria, then it will show its action. Let us consider Corynebacterium diphtheria. Corynebacterium diphtheria. Here this is a cell. This is Corynebacterium cell in which it contains its own genetic material. This is its own genetic material. Now, if any bacteriophage is attached here, now this bacteriophage has special genes. Now these genes will be inserted into this bacterial cell. Now these genes will get replicated with this our normal gene, and this gene will get accumulated in this area. As a result, these chromosomes, this genetic material of bacteria will get damaged and results in death of this cell. And the DNA of this bacteriophage will secrete one special types of proteins. These special types of proteins are called tox proteins. These special proteins are called tox proteins. This is about bacteriophage, and let us discuss about transposons. Transposons are the sons of transporters, and they are special types of genes which have capacity to travel from one gene to the another gene and expresses its action. Let us consider this is one bacteriophage in which it contains genetic material. Now, transposons are special genetic material. This is special genetic material which also have leg-like structures, and they can move from one place of this chromosome to the another place of chromosome. They can move from here to here, or they can move from one cell organelle to the another cell organelle, and they can show its effect in entire the cell. It can show effect here also. Now, these transposons are also called jumping genes. These are called jumping genes, and this is about second criteria, that includes bacteriophages, plasmids, and transposons. And next let us discuss about next classification. Next classification includes virus. Virus is not a cell. First of all, virus is not a cell. It is non-living structure, and it contains either DNA or RNA. It contains either DNA or RNA. It contains either DNA or RNA, and let us consider this is one DNA molecule. This is one DNA molecule and one RNA molecule. This is one DNA molecule and this is one RNA molecule. Now, around this DNA and RNA, it contains protein coat. Around this DNA and RNA, DNA or RNA, it contains protein coat. That structure is called virus. This virus is not 100%, it is not a cell, because definition of a cell is any structure in which it contains nucleus and cell organelle, and nucleus which is enclosed by cytoplasm, and outer layer which is called cell membrane. Let us consider cell. Let us consider this is a genetic material or chromosome in which it is enclosed by nuclear membrane, and around it contains cytoplasm. This is cytoplasm, and outer side of the cytoplasm it contains cell membrane. This entire structure is called cell, but here there is no cytoplasm and cell organelles are absent. Only DNA or RNA along with protein coat is called virus. This is about virus, and next coming is bacteria. Next coming particle is bacteria. This bacteria can be again transferred into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now let us discuss some basic differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now here let us draw one prokaryotic cell and here let us draw one eukaryotic cell. This is one prokaryotic cell and this is one eukaryotic cell. This is one prokaryotic cell and this is eukaryotic cell. Now the basic difference between this prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell is, one major difference is it do not contain true nucleus, but eukaryotes contain true nucleus. What is nucleus and difference between nuclei and nucleus? Nucleus is nothing but if a genetic material, let us consider this is one genetic material which is enclosed by nuclear membrane. This is nuclear membrane. If any genetic material which is surrounded by nuclear membrane, it is called true nucleus. This is true nucleus. And what is nuclei means, if any genetic material, let us consider this is one circular manner genetic material which is present in prokaryotes. If it is not enclosed by any nuclear membrane and it is directly present in the cytoplasm, then it is called nuclei. This is the difference between nucleus and nuclei. Nucleus means it is surrounded by nuclear membrane and nuclei means it is surrounded by cytoplasm which it do not contain distinct nuclear membrane. Here first difference is true nucleus is absent, true nucleus is present. And second difference is these prokaryotes contains true nuclei. This is true nuclei and eukaryotes do not contains true nuclei. It contains only true nucleus. This is second difference. And coming to the third difference, this prokaryotes contains only one chromosome. It contains only one chromosome, whereas this eukaryotes contains multiple number of chromosomes, that is 23 pairs of chromosomes. But here prokaryotes contains only one chromosome. It contains multiple chromosomes. And coming to the fourth difference, this prokaryote contains circular genetic material. Let us consider this is circular genetic material, and in case of prokaryotes the genetic material is linear in manner. This is linear in manner. In prokaryotes the genetic material will be circular in manner. In eukaryotes the genetic material is linear in manner. And next difference is, now my question is, does all the eukaryotes contains only linear chromosomes? Definitely the answer is no, because a good student has to remember that along with this, in eukaryotes, along with this nucleus, there are cell organelles. In cell organelles, one of the organelle, that is mitochondria. This is mitochondria. It is double layered, and inside this mitochondria it contains one of the circular DNA material. This is circular DNA material which is present in each and every mitochondria of eukaryotic cell. So it contains linear chromosomes as well as circular chromosomes, but it contains only circular chromosomes. And this is some similarity. This is one similarity, that is it contains, prokaryotes contains circular DNA and it also contains circular DNA. And the DNA, the genetic material which is present in eukaryotes is double stranded, whereas In prokaryotes, it also contains double-stranded DNA or genetic material. And this is some basic differences between these. And let us discuss difference between ribosomes in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now, the type of ribosomes which are present in eukaryotes are, it contains 50S ribosomes and 30S ribosomes. Totally it contains 80S ribosomes. 50S plus 30S, it includes 80S ribosomes, whereas in prokaryotes it includes 60S plus 40S, it includes 80S ribosomes, whereas in prokaryotes it contains 50S ribosomes and 30S ribosomes. Combiningly, it includes 70S ribosomes. This is some difference between ribosomes. It includes 80S ribosomes and it includes 70S ribosomes. And if we discuss difference in the proteins which are produced, let us consider this is mRNA molecule. Now, this mRNA molecule, and here this is promoter region. This is the fifth end, that is, this is fifth end, and this is third end. And this promoter region consists of, this is fifth end, it contains promoter regions, and it consists of introns and axons. These are introns and these are axons. Eukaryotic cell contains, in eukaryotic cell, the protein or mRNA molecule contains promoter region and also introns and axons, whereas in prokaryotic cell it contains only axons. It is fifth difference is ribosomes, and sixth difference is it contains, in eukaryotic cell it contains introns and axons, whereas in prokaryotic cell it contains only axons. These introns will get eliminated. These introns will be removed from this area, and the axons which are left here are used for synthesis of proteins. This is amino acid sequence, and in this way it contains introns and axons. Here it contains only axons, and this is one difference. And this eukaryotic cell is monocystonic condition. It is monocystonic and it is polysystonic. It is monocystonic and it is polysystonic. What is monocystonic and what is polysystonic means? Let us consider one example. And this is one mRNA sequence, and inside the mRNA it consists of special genes. These are special genes. Now, at these special genes, ribosomes will get attached. At first, 30S ribosomes will get attached, and ultimately, so here 40S ribosomes will get attached, and at next level 60S ribosomes will get attached. Now, whenever these ribosomes are attached, now these ribosomes will move from this end to this end. It will read all the sequences and it makes one protein molecule. If from this mRNA sequence, if it made only one protein, then it is called monocystonic condition. But in case of prokaryotes, let us consider this is one mRNA molecule and it consists of special genetic material at multiple ends. And at here, at first it attaches 30S ribosomes, and next it attaches 50S ribosomes. This is 50S and 30S. Now there are multiple number of ribosomes will get attached. Then these move from one place to another place, and ultimately more than one protein will get formed here. But here it forms only one protein. If one mRNA molecule will forms more than one protein, then it is called polycystonic condition. These are some basic differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. And this prokaryotic cell, it also consists of the cell wall, which is made up of peptides and glycans. These are peptides which are internally linked with glycan molecules and which are internally linked with peptide bonds. Which are internally linked with peptide bonds. This is a unique feature of prokaryotes and this is not present in eukaryotes. These are some basic differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and these are some important classifications which includes bacteria, virus, prions and bacteriophages, plasmids, and it also includes fungi. And if we discuss about fungus, next one, it includes fungi. These fungi are eukaryotic cells, and this fungi consists of the outermost layer. It is made up of chitin. This outermost layer is made up of chitin material. This is a unique feature of fungi. Outermost layer is made up of fungi, and there are some differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes and virus, bacteria, fungi, prions, bacteriophages.